He was a millionaire CEO who thought he had everything, until one letter from a dying little girl changed everything. She said, "Can you read this letter? It's very important." What he found inside shattered his soul and gave him a new reason to live. This is the story that will make you believe in miracles again. In a world full of noise, we often forget the quiet hearts, the ones who love, hope, and dream even when life gives them nothing. But sometimes, one small voice, one tiny letter, can awaken something inside us all. Today, you'll hear the story of Sophie, the little girl who taught a CEO what it truly means to live. Before we begin, make sure to like this video if you believe in kindness, subscribe for more real stories that touch your heart, and share this with someone who might need a little hope today. Because this story is not just meant to be watched, it's meant to be felt. It was a cold winter afternoon in New York City. Snow drifted past the hospital windows, muffling the city's noise. In room 407, a frail little girl named Sophie lay on her bed, her small hands clutching a folded piece of paper. She was only 8 years old, but had already spent more time in hospital rooms than playgrounds. The nurses adored her for her smile, that innocent, hopeful smile that never seemed to fade, no matter how much pain she felt. Down the street, Daniel Reed, a 40-year-old tech CEO, was living a very different life. His days were packed with board meetings, investor calls, and endless deadlines. He had everything money could buy and except peace. 2 years earlier, his daughter Emily had passed away from a rare illness. Since then, he'd buried himself in work, hiding behind numbers and success to avoid the silence of his empty house. One morning, Daniel's assistant walked into his office holding a letter. "Sir, this came through your charity's mail. It's addressed to you personally, or from a little girl named Sophie." He hesitated, then opened it. The handwriting was shaky, but careful. "Dear Mr. Reed, I don't know you, but my nurse told me you help children like me. My name is Sophie. I have something important to ask. Can you please visit me? I have a letter I want you to read yourself. It's very important. Please come soon." Sophie Parker. Daniel felt a lump rise in his throat. He almost ignored it. After all, letters like this came often. But something about her words wouldn't let him go. That night, he couldn't sleep. The next morning, he drove to St. Mary's Children's Hospital. When he entered room 407, Sophie's eyes lit up. "You came," she whispered. Daniel smiled awkwardly, unsure what to say. She reached under her pillow and handed him an envelope. "But you can't open it yet," she said softly. "Not until I'm gone." "Promise?" Daniel froze. "Why would you say that?" he asked gently. She smiled faintly. "Because it's my final wish." He didn't know what to do except nod. They talked for hours about her favorite books, her dreams of seeing the ocean, her belief that angels were just people who cared enough to show up. When Daniel finally left, his chest felt heavy but somehow lighter at the same time. He didn't know then that Sophie's letter, the one sealed with a child's heart, would soon shatter his world and rebuild it in ways he never imagined. 2 weeks later, Daniel received a call from the hospital. The voice on the other end was quiet. "Mr. Reed, Sophie passed away last night." He sat there frozen, unable to move. His eyes fell on the small envelope still sitting on his desk. Untouched, just as he'd promised. With trembling hands, he opened it. "Dear Mr. Reed, if you're reading this, it means I'm in heaven now. Please don't be sad. I wanted to give you something, hope. The nurses told me about your daughter. I think she's my friend up here now. She said you miss her a lot. She said to tell you she's proud of you, but she wants you to stop being lonely. You help so many kids, but I think you forgot to help yourself. So here's my wish. Promise me you'll build a place for children like me where they can laugh, dream, and not be scared anymore. Call it Emily's home. And when you see a snowflake fall, that's us, smiling at you. Love, Sophie." By the time he finished reading, Daniel couldn't hold back the tears. He clutched the paper against his chest, whispering, "I promise." Months later, construction began on a new wing of St. Mary's Hospital, Emily's home, funded entirely by Daniel's company. The walls were painted with bright colors, and a plaque by the entrance read, "For Sophie," who reminded us all that love is stronger than loss. During the opening ceremony, Daniel stood in front of hundreds of people but looked only at the sky. Snow began to fall gently, just as Sophie had written. He smiled through his tears and whispered, "You kept your promise, little one." From that day on, Daniel visited the hospital every Christmas, reading stories to the children. Each time he left, he'd glance at Sophie's picture on the wall, the girl with the brave smile who taught him that sometimes the smallest hearts carry the greatest strength. Because in the end, one letter, written by a dying child, gave a broken man a reason to live again. Sometimes, it takes the smallest voice to wake a silent heart. Sophie didn't just write a letter, she wrote a message for the world, that kindness doesn't need wealth and healing doesn't always come from medicine. Daniel thought he was the one helping her, but in truth, she helped him find life again. As the waves washed over his feet that evening, he realized something powerful. Love never dies. It only changes its form. Sophie was gone, but her light lived on in every child her wish would touch, in every heart her story would reach. And maybe that's what real miracles look like, not thunder in the sky, but a quiet letter in a trembling hand that changes everything.